record.
It's recording. Okay. The other issue.
Okay. No, so yesterday, so every week is interesting. There are some unique characters that we find. Like if you remember at the Dairy Circle one, that research guy had come.
Agilan.
What was his name?
Agilan.
Yeah, I have his contact. Anyway, that guy had come and he was talking about how he got involved into research and what he is doing, and he also wanted to get into the other causes. So he's still in touch with me, and he wanted to join RHA and stuff like that. Akilan.
Yeah, Agilan.
Yeah. So we were together, and then that other lady that I met in the morning, she had come to help out, Maria.
Yeah.
The older lady.
Yeah.
I think you met her as well, right, in the Dairy Circle one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So she was there for a while, and so that was a bit different. But then yesterday, it was a bit more organized. So what they had done was the GBA people had told the Paurakarmika ladies to, as in the cleaner ladies, to wait around and then see if we need anything. And, give us tea and water and whatever to make sure we are not tired and exhausted throughout the day.
Nice.
Okay. But there's like a limited number of times that you can have tea in every duration. Like you can't have, say, 6 or 7 teas in a matter of 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So this lady, like we were served, I mean, I had tea for breakfast and had a coffee actually, and then I got to the location. So already had 1 cup, and I don't drink too much. Like my lactose intolerance is quite bad. So that was at 7:30 or so, and then 8:30 they brought another cup of tea. So I mean, the first cup of the day, it's fine. Like you can't deny it. So everyone had. And then again at around 9:15 they brought another cup of tea.
Oh.
Okay, and then I think at 9:30 they brought biscuits as well.
Oh, nice.
And then Jerry said, "Come, we'll go to the shop on the opposite side of the street." They wanted to smoke, so they went there. And then there he ordered another tea, and then I said, "I don't want it." He said, "We've already ordered it, so you need to have it."
Yeah.
And then I had that cup of tea, and then we came back. And another 15-20 minutes later, there was another cup of tea that she ordered. And then she's like, "I've counted the number of people and I've brought the tea from all the way there, so now you can't deny it. I'll feel bad about it and I can't waste this tea. So you need to drink this."
Yeah.
And that was the 4th or the 5th cup. So what was happening was that, and all of these, these cups were not like strong tea. They were mild tea with a lot of sugar.
Oh, no.
So, like for me, when I was bending down and painting and then standing up, I was getting dizzy because of like the sugar rush.
Oh.
So, it's really messing with me. And then all of us were struggling to work because, you're constantly intaking something. And so, like, your body is not burning it off fast enough.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think at 11:30 or so, they brought majjige, which is buttermilk.
Oh.
So we had that as well. And it was, I mean, like, and then I was joking with Jerry saying, did you have lunch? So I left around, I think, close to 1 p.m.
Okay.
And I asked them if you had lunch, and then they were like, no, we'll have later on. And then I said, we drank too much tea, so no lunch today.
Jerry is that main...
The short guy. Jerry's the short guy. He kind of manages the whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think I know.
coordinates and then reports to Arun sir. So
Yeah.
he's been with them, I believe, for 11 plus years now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's good fun. Even Anand had come. So Anand's another guy who was there before. He was there on my first ever Spot 6 in 2019 September.
Okay.
So he's a funny guy. He likes to joke around a lot. And then 7, 8 months back, he had to leave Ugly Indian because he had a leg injury. So he couldn't continue to do physical work.
Wow.
And he found out that there was a spot fix at that location. He's now an auto driver. So he drives passengers for a living, like he does Rapido and Namayatri and that kind of. He's into those applications. So he has his own auto, and then he wore his auto driver uniform and then came to the location. And then he met everyone, and we spent a bit of time there. And then Jerry spoke to his wife as well over call. So it was good to see him after a long time. So now he's doing pretty well as an auto driver, but he just came to meet everyone because I think even he's worked with Ugly Indian for 6, 7 years at least.
Yeah. I had a
Yeah, so he knows
presumption that
everyone.
people are like really well off. I mean, not well off in that way, but they have for themselves, so they're giving to the society. But it's not like that. They're
Yeah,
struggling
yeah,
themselves, and
exactly.
then they're giving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you see like the work culture that they have, because it's not an easy job, right? Every spot fix is so demanding and it has to be perfect. Like it can't be, oh, we've done 75% of it now, let's leave
Yeah.
it and let's be done with it. So end to end, it has to be perfectly done and you have to really, it won't look nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, they just do it so well, and then sir also comes and appreciates everyone and makes sure that they're all happy and no one feels neglected and things like that. So
Yeah.
they work with the same intensity and efficiency. Like even if someone has taken a break for 15, 20 minutes, they'll come back and then they'll make up for it. So not everyone can just keep working for like 5, 6 hours at a stretch anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, oh, you haven't been working for the last 1 hour, so you do it and then I'll take a break or something. So they have that understanding between them. So they collaborate very well and they get the impact of the work that they're doing in the long term. So you're basically transforming the city with your own hands.
Yeah.
So it's quite empowering and it's not something that you'll get in any other organization. So, if you're just doing some normal construction work or some other road building or whatever, it's, you're just a drop in the ocean, but you're creating significant impact and adding significant value every 3, 4 days, pretty much. Like right now during the IPL campaign, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really amazing what you're capable of doing, and you don't really notice it unless, like, I've been added to the planning group of Dairy Circle because I wanted to know how the monitoring works once the work is done. So, every morning and evening, the marshal who is there has to send photos and then informs her about anyone who came to dump garbage, who was fined. They have to document photos of the people who were fined. They have to ensure that the street light has been fixed there.
Mm-hmm.
And so since that photo has to be sent, that becomes a deliverable for the marshal. And if there are, say, 4, 5 bags of garbage there, he will clean the bags and then he will send the photo, because otherwise sir will question him saying, why is there garbage there? And they have to do it each and every day. Otherwise, they'll get a reminder saying, why haven't you sent it?
Mm-hmm.
So that continues, I believe, for a few months. And then they do an inspection to see if things are working or they need to redo something or stuff like that. So kind of collaborates and ensures the different departments, like the street light has to be done by BESCOM. So that's a different department. And then this is primarily BBMP, the solid waste management part of it. And if you need something like water supply to be done, or there are broken pipelines, whatever, you'll get BWSSP.
Yeah. So you got all these government agencies to involve in your work.
Yeah, you have to get them to work together.
How did that happen? Like, did you approach or did they approach you? Do you know?
So first of all, me in the sense, I'm talking on behalf of Ugly Indian and their operations, right? So, Sir now is the ambassador for Bangalore when it comes to Swachha Bengaluru and that campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, everyone in the government department knows who Arun Sir is. Yeah. So if he has the ability to go directly to the commissioner and say that XYZ is not working and that is the reason why something is not being done, and that person is creating a roadblock. Okay, so Sir has quite a bit of a voice, and in fact, for the Dairy Circle location itself, he had put out some content saying that he was like Kamakshi Palya Kasanagara or something like that. So just to make it like a KKR acronym. Mm-hmm. And then, like, you know, the word Kasa, when it's associated with the place, then even though it is true, but people get offended saying, how can you call my place garbage?
Yeah.
So he had pressure from like the from very high portfolios and someone from like the CM's cabinet and that kind of level, from some ministers and some MLAs to delete that particular reel. So, you know, he archived it. He didn't delete it, because if he deleted, all the views and everything is gone. So he just archived it, and so it wasn't available after that. But he said, like, once the noise is cleared, then I will, you know, make it live again. So he'll bring it back.
Okay.
But to your question as to how they get the other departments to work together, it's by just inviting them. So, like, for example, when that, like, for instance, I can tell you about yesterday. So there was some electrical wiring lines that that were exposed. Okay, so there was one chamber hole that was left open. And because there's so much garbage, you don't even see what the issues are. Mm-hmm. So there was like the, you know, the whole of the chamber was left completely open. And then the main power lines that were under that were filled with trash and stones and all of that. So it was unsafe, first of all. And secondly, like, a few smaller lines were cut and they were not live. So they called the BESCOM people to re-inspect it, to check if the lines are fine, and then to re-establish all the connections. So they did their work while we were working. And then in about 1 hour's time, they sorted everything out. They closed the chamber once again. They put it in place, and then they left from there. So, you know, that's a small instance of a collaboration again between BBMP and BESCOM, which happened immediately. So, you know, Sir just made a few phone calls. And Sir wasn't even physically present. He came only at 1:30 or so. So Jerry informed Sir that this issue is there and the chamber is open, and then we need the BESCOM people to sort it out. They came, they did their work, and they left. Mm-hmm. So that is the level of efficiency that you can bring in if there is an intent to get something done. But if people don't want to really do that, then they can give excuses and you know, they say, I need this much money, I need this contractor, I need this much of funding, I need these many laborers, and then, you know, they just make it a big deal when it's just a few wires. Like maybe one or two people can do it themselves if they want, but they opt not to do that. And then the corruption starts and all of that, whole red tape starts. So when you have that problem-solving mindset and when you see that others are working and they're doing so much, right? Like there were a few people who were living there in the buildings just above where you were working yesterday. So there was, I think, like a dormitory shelter kind of thing for these immigrants or whatever. Like there were some Nepali people living there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a young child who came and, she was so amazed, like, how come there are birds and all of these sceneries painted on the wall when it was full of trash just one day ago.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they realize, like, kids can see the difference. And even when you see animals and pets come, they get so excited. Yesterday, for some reason, we didn't get a butterfly, but like even you would have seen, almost every week we get a butterfly who comes
Yeah.
and, circles around the place. So they recognize the beautification.
Yeah. True.
Even elements in nature notice that something has been
Yes.
significantly changed, and then that's the way of blessing us or
Yeah.
whatever, thanking us for what we've done.
Yeah. But we were also tricking the butterfly with chemical
Yeah,
things.
there was like a wasp or some insect like that which came, but I don't know, didn't see the butterfly because the moment the trash was cleared, that place already looked pretty clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were just like doing the wall. Um, so it's a more organized area. Banaswadi is not very clumsy and filthy like some of the other localities. So it wasn't that much of a challenge. Like the only unique issue we had was that there were a lot of movie posters on the walls. And the ones that are applied with paper, those are fine. Like you can just scrape it off with the standing blade and then take it out. But then some of them were attached with the, they call it bubble gum paper. So that kind of sticks to the wall like enamel paint. And it's very hard to take that out. So there were some government posters that were fixed using that. And we tried for a long time. So we spent the first, I think, close to 30-40 minutes just scraping off the movie posters and these other messaging posters that were on the wall. And then after that, the painting started. Of course, the paint will cover all of that, but we did a base coat of white on some red-colored posters, which were not getting hidden completely since it's a much lighter color. And then we had to do multiple shades, and eventually it was okay. Once the paint dries, then it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got there in the end somehow. You guys who had come for the first time, they just saw the reel on Instagram and they heard that this location is being done at so and so time. So they came and they worked for a few hours, and they Jerry gave them the task of painting the tree. Like half the trunk of the tree is done in that red terracotta paint.
Yeah.
So they were like splashing paint on each other, like playing around and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Then they left around 11:30 or so.
How old? Like,
They were maybe just out of college. Nowadays you can't tell because kids look
even you look 20.
quite older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can't really tell, but I would guess about 18, 19.
Yeah.
Seemed like they were on vacation, so maybe like
17.
first year, 11th standard, 12th standard, summer vacation or something.
Yeah. So, what is the age group of people who come to volunteer with
Volunteering, like you would have seen, it all depends on interest. So there's some people, like even yesterday, there were some residents who were walking by and crossing the area. So they were old people, like just going on the morning walk, and they stopped to see, wow, like it's pretty awesome work these people are doing, and Jerry invited them to come and join because we like to get that as well. Like when we get the collaboration of the residents in a locality, then we find a sense of ownership, saying these guys will take care of the sport and they are there 24 hours. So if something goes wrong and is living in the next street, then it will be a personal thing to them. Like, how can you come and, mess up and cause a health hazard near my residence? Like, I won't accept that. So we try and get as much collaboration as possible, but of course, like people have to be willing to come forward and paint and do those things. And if you're wearing good clothing, then it becomes an issue sometimes.
Yeah, true.
So there was this one guy who was maybe 65, 70 years old, and then there were a few more people who came and joined maybe in that 30, 40 age bracket.
Yeah, so you have almost all the age groups.
Yes. Yeah. And everyone's invited, like if there's, say, a 6 or 7 year old, there was another boy who came, who just finished his football practice. So he was still wearing like a goalkeeper jersey, and then he came and he was just looking at the wall and seeing what we were doing. And then Jerry said, take your bag off and come, and gave him an apron. So he painted for a while. Yeah. It's all interest based. There's no hard and fast rule that only certain people can do it and only people of a certain age can do it. Whoever wants to contribute, however long they want to work, they're more than willing to come and join. So individuals who don't complain, who get the work done and who work as a team, who don't try to have their own ideas and influence anything. If you have the right attitude, then it's not a concern. Like, we're more than happy to accept people. So nobody will prevent you or create an obstacle for these kind of volunteers who want to help out.
Yeah. So you said that you don't accept when people want to make their own, like there will be other opinions. So you cannot really accept.
Yeah, other opinions, like Jerry was telling me. So, there are some guys who will come and they won't do the work. So they will stand there and they will say, why is this not being done? Why is that not being done? Why are you using this color paint? And can you build a restroom here? Can you clean up the footpath even more? There's a lot of dust. And, they think they're entitled and we are some sweepers from the government who are coming and, doing the BBMP's work. Like, that's not the case.
No.
It's clearly not the case. Okay, what's going on is completely different, and Ugly Indian has its own design cell and people with expertise who come up with different designs based on the locality and the environment. So we're just executing that plan and that project. So nobody has any say or is allowed to mess up with that plan. But that said, like, let's say we're painting the birds yellow or white. Okay, if someone says that, it's not really standing out, let's use red or let's use a better color.
Yeah.
So that's a question of improvement. Okay, so at that point of time, if it makes sense, and then if everyone is in agreement saying, okay, let's use a different color, that's okay. That's okay. We'll change it. But then the way in which you communicate something and the way, if you come from an ordering tone where you're commanding something to be done, then, like, people are not stupid as well. So they will understand what you're trying to do. And that won't be entertained. So no one is here to be pushed around and to be given instructions. So everyone knows what they're doing, and they've been doing it for many years with a lot of success. So that kind of attitude will not work. But if someone wants to improvise, and someone has an artistic background saying, I think this will look better than what we are currently doing, then that's totally fine. Like yesterday, like the birds on the wall, I like to fine tune the birds, because the birds kind of get the center of attraction in the whole scene that we're doing. So when you use the wrong brush, like when you use a thicker brush, the edges don't come out very well, and the birds don't look sharp. So I found a pointed brush, so I was giving it the nice lines and the smooth edges at the end, so that the birds look good. So after that, like, even though the inside part of it is a bit shabby and it's not been done well, as long as the outlines are nice, that will cover up all of those blemishes. So one of the birds, because like it was so badly done, the beak had to be quite long. Like it looked very long. Okay, so it looked weird. And then Jerry said that looks a bit awkward, and then Babu touched it up, and then he fixed the head and the face part. So that's okay. There's nothing to be offended by it. It's not like he's saying you don't know what to do. And
I also noticed that. It's very well.
You're all working as a team. And they obviously know better than me, right? Because they've been doing it for a much longer time. So that's okay. I mean, end of the day, you're just trying to beautify the place. So small things like that, you don't have to take it personally if someone's correcting what you've done.
So they are also like, they're paid employees, right? Jerry and Babu.
Yeah. They're paid employees, yes.
Of Ugly India.
But they go through some amount of training, right? Like before they start the work, they have to know how to use a roller brush, what kind of paint has to be used in what situation, like whether you use acrylic, enamel, or what potency of paint, like should you dilute it, should you keep it very thick? Like on the curbs, when you're doing the footpath area, it has to be very thick paint. Otherwise, since it's very dirty and dusty, and like the lines, the edges has to be very clear. So you don't dilute that paint at all. So yesterday, some of the curb designs, like I was doing that white and black design, and then accidentally a few people had stepped on the patches on top, so there were footprints. And then to cover it up, I was using an acrylic white that we were using for the wall. So Jerry said, no, stop doing that, because the shade is not matching. You're using a different shade and using a different paint. So it won't look nice. When people observe it, they will see that there are two different colors. Yeah. So things like that, it's okay. I mean, when you're working, you need some paint to cover up something. So you can't end up making mistakes.
True.
You have to do a professional job at the end of the day.
Yeah. So this professional thing, it's not like a citizen thing, but it's an organization that is doing all these, and citizen is being part of what they are doing.
Yes. So it's something that you're doing for public use. Right now, tomorrow, let's say you allow 20-25 kids to come and do the important paint work, okay,
Yeah.
in a particular locality. So after it's done and then people come to inspect it and whatever, they're like, if it looks shabby, if it looks like, a child has done it, there's a lot of leakage, there's a lot of paint that is dripped from a different height, and then that's not been touched up.
Yeah.
Uh, people won't take that seriously. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who's done this, and I mean, someone has painted graffiti on the wall, or someone has come and done some random artwork. Like, you find some people who've written "I love you" or something, like somewhere with spray paint. Okay, so it looks like that. Saying, to value something, it has to be, you should see the amount of effort involved in creating that. Like yesterday, we had these massive pots, which, they had to be moved by a tempo and then brought there at that location. So one pot needed about 2 to 3 guys to hold because they were huge cement pots. So to install pots, to paint the pots, and then to install benches, and then to carry the kadapa stones which go on top of the benches. All of that, it doesn't happen, like, it's not an AI prompt or something that you can just say, beautify this place, and then it happens.
True.
It all takes a massive amount of human effort to do that.
Yeah.
So it has to look respectable, and the finished product should give you that wow factor, saying, dude, like, people have really taken their blood, sweat, and tears to put this together. So you can't just go and just throw trash or desecrate that as if nothing has happened. So that's the hope anyway. Like, you can't monitor things 24 hours, but you hope people have that common sense to not make it how it was earlier. Even yesterday, in fact, there was a lady who brought a garbage bag, and then she was about to dump it. And that Pora Karmika lady who was serving us tea, she was like, what's wrong with you? Please take it away. This is not the place to dump garbage and this and that. And then she was arguing, saying, this is where I dispose it every day. And then she told, no, the van will come at so-and-so time, and then you have to follow that wet and dry garbage process and the cadence that they have, and accordingly give it to the garbage tempo guys. So this is not the place to throw it. And after that, she went away. So it's about convenience, right, for people as well. Like, why should you get up in the morning? Why should you come and dispose garbage the right way? The moment it fills up at home, you come throw it here, and then someone will take care of it.
Yeah. So in
That's the
Bangalore,
mentality that people have.
yeah. So in Bangalore, do they give you enough awareness on how to dispose the waste, and do they really collect all those things?
Yeah. So earlier, what used to happen was segregation wasn't great. So people used to have one dustbin at home, which will have your wet, dry, mixed, sanitary, hazardous, everything, glass, all of that will be in one dustbin. So what happens is, even if you collect that, who's going to sit and sort it out?
Yeah.
Mixed waste has to go to the landfill anyway. Okay, so then what they've done was they tried to have separate dustbins, saying you have a wet dustbin, you have a dry dustbin, and then you empty out both. But what was happening was, at the point of collection, they had this one tempo which had wet and dry waste. Okay, so people were like, when he's collecting it, he's getting mixed anyway, so why am I segregating? So then, to solve that problem, what they did was, like, the current process is to have separate days for wet, separate days for dry. And now I believe reject as well is being introduced in some commercial areas. So they have wet, dry, reject, 3 separate dustbins. But primarily in a household, you will have a wet bin and a dry bin. So I believe Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays are wet, and then Wednesday, Friday, Saturday is dry.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so 6 days a week there's collection. And on a wet day, you can't give him dry waste, and on a dry day, you can't give him wet waste.
Mm-hmm.
And they will properly check what exactly the contents are. So if you have like wrong segregation, or if there are noticeable issues in what you're giving them, they will reject the dustbin. They will tell you to take it back.
Mm.
And also they're particular about the lining that you use inside the bin as well. They want like a paper bag, or they want no lining at all, because that's creating additional plastic waste.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very particular about all of those aspects. And ever since this day-wise collection is happening, people are also following the norms. And sometimes what happens is like people go to college, office, and they have other commitments. So if you just attach that garbage bag to the gate of your house, or if it's in an accessible place, that guy who's collecting, he will come and take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a case where you're not available to go and submit it at 7:30 in the morning because you're not available, or let's say you're working late and you can't wake up that early in the morning. So you just keep it in a place where he can take it from, and then they will take it for you.
Mm.
So that kind of concession can be given, because not everyone's available at a certain time, but it goes hand in hand. Like you have to segregate it, you have to come and drop your garbage off and keep it at a certain place, and then from there, if needed, they will pick it up for you.
Yeah.
So, but then again, there are some drawbacks, right? Like where my sister lives in that RT Nagar ward, in those localities, there is no collection.
Oh no.
They don't get a garbage van at all. Like nobody comes for collection. So where will the garbage go? So people, they go about 1 or 2 kilometers, and they find a black spot or a place where people are dumping.
Yeah.
Like everyone from the locality is dumping, and then they just leave it there and come back. So again, that's a systemic issue. So if there is no collection, how do you dispose it?
Mm. So when you clear the black spots and ask them to keep the vans there, so the authorities do that, right? Whatever you request, they do.
Yeah. That's taken care of. But then, like, the city is so big, and there are so many wards, and there's so many things. Like, see, every cross has its own issues. Like, there are the Bangalore is 1.52 crore people now.
Yeah.
And every 20-30 people have their own set of issues. So when you get into that micromanagement and that level of planning, there will be like a few small localities that are being missed out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you don't have collection in those areas, then people have to live, right? So the moment you're living normally, you will have trash. So where will that trash go? The trash has to go somewhere. So that is again the root cause analysis of who is using black spots, why are they using, do they have a valid reason to use. Like yesterday was pure laziness. That lady who came to dump the garbage, there was proper collection and everything was happening, but then they're just used to a process of coming and throwing the garbage bag there. So she wanted to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's not a case of where you have a broken system. You have proper collection, you have proper ways in which you can dispose it and segregate it, but you're not following that. Mm-hmm. Whereas in other places, system itself is broken. So, like it's, I mean, like people who have terrace gardens and stuff, they can use the wet waste for compost. Not everyone does it, but then that's one solution.
Yeah.
But where it's not possible to do that, you need some outlet for the waste.
Mm.
So that's what ends up becoming a black spot. And hopefully, at some point, there will come a time when we get so organized that we can address the points that don't have collection and then start collection there. And hopefully that way the black spots will reduce. Sometimes people are just lazy, dude. Like, if I'm honest, even if we are traveling, like let's say for a week or 10 days, and there is some amount of trash at home, like you can't leave the trash at home because the cockroaches will come and it'll be a huge mess when you get back from vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So that 1 or 2 days of trash, we just take it with us. And then if we find some spot where 100, 200 people have dumped, then my parents will just throw the garbage bag there. I mean, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But what can you do at that point of time?
Yeah.
It's an emergency that you have to figure out. Because if you just tie it to the gate of your house as well, like the dogs and other animals can come and just, scatter the garbage everywhere.
Yeah.
And then your neighbors will say, like, what the hell have you done?
Mm-hmm. So
they're not going to come and clean it up for you. So
yeah,
things happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Aldin. It's like almost 45 minutes of you saying so many valuable things. So now let me also, state my, research question so you can, answer in that way if you have time.
Yeah, sure.
So mine is like how social movements like Vakaluru influence policy making to be more pedestrian friendly.
Right. So, Wakaluru, in the sense that what Arun sir has been conducting for about a year or two in the recent past.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to attend, but for one reason or the other, because of my commitments and things like that. And he starts quite early in the morning, so he starts at 6:30 in the morning, and then goes from place A to place B. I haven't been able to attend a single one, so I won't be able to give you a hands-on answer of what I saw and what I witnessed.
Yeah, IPL and Vakaluru. I mean, I think he had a Vakaluru challenge where he challenged people to do, clean a part of footpath, like as big or as small as they can.
Those things have been happening.
Yeah,
those things have been happening. These have gained a lot of traction also. A lot of people have noticed it, and a lot of people have spoken about it.
Yeah.
But then, the moment you start talking about these events, then the next question, or when you look at the flip side, people will say, okay, so you're organizing these pedestrian walks and so on and so forth. So does that mean having a footpath in the Silicon Valley of India, or like the IT capital of India, is an achievement?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would expect to have a footpath everywhere. Like, it should already be in place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And secondly, if you're saying that you organize it from point A to point B, it may be in CBD, it may be somewhere like in MG Road and Brigade Road in HSR layout, or one of these organized areas. But are we saying like all of the footpaths, even in that locality or in other localities, are also walkable? So it's like you're picking and choosing something that serves your purpose, and then you're advertising that. But I mean, there's 95, 96% of Bangalore that still has broken footpaths, right? So like, when is that going to be solved?
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that I've been hearing when you bring up this kind of a topic, since it's come in the papers also multiple times, and he's had huge gatherings, like, I think, and that's ironic as well, because if you look at his social media, he's known as the Bangalore Walks guy, and so on and so forth. Like, that's how Arun sir positions himself. So the moment he organizes a walk, you'll get 500,000 people. So why not, even 1% of that crowd who come for a spot fix? You know what I mean? Because that work is a lot harder. Like, to come and work in garbage and to paint and do that in the hot sun for so many hours a day is a lot harder. You're not necessarily getting something in return, but then when you're walking, you're also getting fitness, and then it's a more glamorous event, and it doesn't need you to bend your back and pick up trash and solve a actual civic issue.
Yeah.
So you're just there to have a good time,
Yeah. That's
so it's also
yeah.
interesting
True.
why that happens.
Like that said, what motivates you to do this, back-breaking work? And you tell me about yourself. Like, why are you so different? Or maybe what makes you?
Why do I do it?
Yeah.
Because I want to create change, like, if there are 10 people in a room and you start talking about something, like, I'm sure like 8 or 9 of them will tell you, okay, this is wrong, that is wrong. And that's sort of an Indian thing as well, where we like to talk about the pessimistic side and why the glass is half empty and not half full. We like to look at everything that is wrong, and then maybe once we are done cribbing about everything, they'll be like, okay, ye bhi acha hai, wo bhi acha hai. Like, there are some good things, okay, like, just for consolation. Otherwise, that other person will say, "Arey, this guy can't look at anything positive, and he's such a pessimist, and it's very irritating to talk to this person." But I like to be that one person who can say, you go down this street, I worked on it. Like, there used to be a garbage dump here, but now it's completely transformed. Like, it changed overnight. It changed in a matter of few hours. So that's like a magical experience, and I'm not doing it for someone else. I'm doing it for my own city, and I'm doing it for the place where I live. And I know the kind of gratitude that people have as residents and people living in that locality, the kind of respect they have for the work that we do. Okay, so at any other point of time, if you cross paths, if you meet them somewhere else, they will remember that you had come to their locality, and you worked with the residents, and you had done an amazing job, and they will tell you if it's still well maintained or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that impact and that ability to create marked change, like, it's not easy for me on a weekday. I work the US hours, so I work from like 7 p.m. to about 3 or 4 a.m. And for me to like just go there on 2-3 hours sleep, and then to put in a shift of 6-7 hours, and then come back and then have a shower and have my lunch and take a short rest, or maybe no rest at all, and again because I also have to go to office, right, sometimes. So then again come back from office and continue working. My eyes just shut beyond like 9-10 p.m. I can't stay awake. But it's not my manager's fault. It's not my company's fault that I'm committed to all of these things. So that's like on my personal capacity and my personal time. So whatever good and bad comes with that is something I have to deal with.
Yeah.
But then the next morning, like today morning, when I wake up and I think about how yesterday went and what I was able to do yesterday, I'm really proud and I'm glad that I went and I showed up and I managed to put in that effort. Like today, even though I'm energetic and I want to do it, the event was yesterday, it wasn't today. So like I've already missed the bus if I decide. Like even yesterday when I woke up at around 6:50, I was like, not sure I want to go and this and that. My girlfriend was saying, just stay at home. Why do you want to go? You're going every week anyway. But I somehow feel guilty, like if I've not gone and if I was able to go and I don't have a valid reason for not going, then I feel like, oh man, I could have gone, I could have done it. Like it's not to just collect brownie points or be like, oh, I've done another event and I'm so amazing, and to put a story on Instagram and brag about it. It's just, that sense of purpose that tomorrow people are doing this work, they're solving another issue, and do you want to be a part of it or not?
Yeah.
So I just, unless it's something that I really can't attend and I have other commitments and it will create complications elsewhere, I will show up at least for a few hours. Like in fact, the Dairy Circle one, my back was in a really bad shape. I had some stress injuries and spasms in my back. So I was telling Jerry that I can't lift anything. So he said, don't worry, you just do the painting work. And even to paint like towards the bottom of the wall, it was really hurting a lot. But somehow when you get into the flow of things, you forget all that and you just start figuring it out. And eventually those injuries will go away, like physical pain will go away. But you shouldn't let that come in the way of what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to do. And the whole objective of the impact you're trying to create. So that's a much larger thing that shouldn't come in the way of the small issues or the small roadblocks and hurdles that you have in the pursuit of getting there.
May I ask you what your long-term vision is?
I mean, see, for the country as a whole, it's really depressing because I've traveled a bit and I've seen other countries and I've seen economically weaker countries with lesser education, and I've also seen a lot of YouTube and travel videos and stuff like that. So it's the main content that I consume. And I'm like, I mean, forget about like building chipsets and being ahead in the AI race and looking at semiconductor manufacturers, like what Taiwan's doing, China is doing, and those are at much higher levels. I mean, we as a people, we spit on our roads and we don't respect each other. We don't know how to live as human beings, and we just eat a chocolate or just open up a wrapper, a pack of chips, and then throw it outside the window. We just eat from a coconut and then throw the coconut shell randomly outside the car window, and we don't even care if that's going into someone's house. If that's falling on someone, or like the neighbors that I have in the place where I live, they will just open up a Swiggy packet, eat from it, and then dump the Swiggy packet outside the window, and that falls on my neighbor's shutter outside my window. Okay, so that I can see that happen almost on a daily basis. Now, if I were to think, oh, these people are working population, they're from the north, they don't care about Bangalore, and that's why they're acting like this, or if you just accept that that's how we are, then I don't think that will change. So we need to introspect and understand that the biggest thing that's holding us back is the garbage everywhere, like everywhere in this country. Like in every tourist attraction, everywhere people are gathered. Like if you find something in India that is clean, that's like people won't be able to believe it. Saying, how is it clean? Like it's a miracle that something is clean. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's how low our standards are today.
Yeah.
So we need to like really understand that cleanliness is something that is at the very base level of society. So if you can't even if you don't even know how to like dispose your trash and what is wet waste, what is dry waste, not being resourceful, buying more than what you need, like just if you're changing a mattress, taking an old mattress and dumping it somewhere, like throwing it in a stormwater drain. If you remember in Tannery Road that had happened.
Yeah, we saw that.
I think I showed you that
you
as well,
showed
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, just imagine the kind of like, just removing that will need, 10 people to like get into the drain and pick it up. For you, maybe it was just something that you were getting rid of and then you dumped it there.
Yeah.
But I don't think people understand the kind of, ultimately someone has to clean it, right? Like someone has to eventually take that out of there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what made us become like this, but I just hope that we realize it can't continue.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in India is just a big landfill, dude. If you think about it, like everywhere there is trash and people and it's so ingrained in us that we don't even realize. Like yesterday, I think even in the dairy circle one, you would have noticed someone was distributing these chocolates, 5 rupee toffees, these chocolate bars, and then a few of us, like some of the workers, they were eating it and then they were throwing it right there. It's okay, they're busy, they're painting the wall or whatever. But I mean, like you just cleaned it and now you're beautifying the place, and you're again littering.
Yeah. True.
So it's so ingrained in us that we don't even realize what we're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So just that consciousness and that attitude of trying to be carbon neutral, trying to have zero waste, and trying to have sustainability as one of the motives, and being conscious about the waste that you're generating. If you can use a paper bag somewhere or you can use something that's biodegradable, like, do we even care about the materials we're consuming?
Yeah.
I think that consciousness has to really increase, and people have to be like, dude, if I do it, then there's a billion other people who are not going to do it. So how is one plastic bag going to make a difference?
Yeah.
Like, that is the whole attitude that needs to change, that everything starts from one drop. Like, you also have oasis in the desert, right? You also have, like, miracles can happen that way.
Yeah. Do you think government is doing enough for us to,
They can't do everything. So that's the thing, right? Like, see, right now, if I'm honest, even I was that kind of a person, and even I used to complain a lot. In 2019, 2020, like, when I just got started with Ugly Indian and stuff, I would go on Twitter and then tag BBMP and say, if you think something is clean, then go sleep on it and stuff like that, tagging the commissioner of BBMP. Okay. And then I would assume, dude, I'm just like a regular guy, and I don't think anyone will notice and stuff like that. But then, people do see what you're saying. And they had questioned Arun sir, saying, this guy, I've seen him in one of your spot fixes. I've seen that he's working with you. And look at the kind of behavior that he's showing.
Wow.
So that affects Ugly Indian's ability to work with the government directly. saying
Yeah.
if this is how you're going to act with us, then we don't need your help. We'll figure it out.
Mm.
So all of this work and all of this impact that we're creating is because there's an avenue for the NGOs and the citizens to work hand in hand with the government and solve something.
Yeah.
Now, if we be like, these guys are useless, these guys don't do anything, we'll create a parallel economy and we'll start doing our own work and we'll start fixing problems by ourselves, then tomorrow a third person will say, oh, these guys are doing it, let me also do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
you're
then that's
trying
going
to
to create
say,
shadow economies,
yeah.
you know.
So you are trying to say that criticism doesn't work
Yeah.
with government,
So
especially.
that is not the way to do it. So ultimately, you fall within the system. You try to work with the system and then create meaningful change that way. You can't be like, it's my way or the highway, these guys are idiots and let me take it into my own hands and let me do whatever I want.
True.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
you
would have also seen yourself, like, why do they take the officials and why do they ask them to paint and why do they ask them to come and show their involvement and stuff like that? Because it should be, it should look like it's a collaboration between the government and Ugly Indian and Wakaluru and all of these other organizations that is making this come together.
Yeah.
It's not like, dude, Ugly Indian guys have come and then they're doing this. Tomorrow they're going to do another location. Third day they'll do another location. That is not the kind of messaging here.
Yeah.
So it is something that the GBA or the BBMP has permitted you to do, and they want to solve as part of their initiative, and it's their responsibility. We are just helping them out in achieving that.
Okay. So it used to be like that from the beginning, or recently the collaboration?
Yeah, it's always been like that. But you also get better with time, right? Like earlier, what used to happen was we used to start the spot fix, but sometimes since we didn't have full control of the locations, the residents would come and say, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's paint in front of my house." Let's put a green net. I want this area to look a certain way, that area to look a certain way. And they would try to start derailing or, sidetracking from what the initial plan was. And Jerry wouldn't be in a position to say, because they would be, bigger people, right? Like more wealthier people and with more influence.
Yeah.
So 10, 15 people will say, yeah, I think you're right. Let's do that. And that would, change the plan completely. So it would be like, okay, you're painting this, but now they don't want to paint this, so you're painting something else. Okay, so now it's become a thing where we come with a very clear plan, with a very clear idea of what we're trying to do, and there's no confusion there. So you're willing, you're ready, you're welcome to help and you're welcome to come and support, but you can't come with your own agenda saying, no, let's do some orange abstract art or something. Like all of that is not permitted. So they apply a lot of thought and a lot of planning and a lot of investment as well to do a spot fix and to make it sustainable and long lasting for a significant amount of time. It's not something that you do on the fly. You don't suddenly wake up someday and be like, let's pick up this garbage and let's paint this wall. It's not that. It's a planned exercise that they do to patch up those areas. And you would have seen that they have a specific start point and an end point.
Yeah.
Because, you can't solve everyone's problems. You can't solve the world's problems.
Yeah.
Like, because you're doing spot fixes, like global hunger is not going to get eradicated.
Yeah.
That's a different thing altogether. So even within Bangalore, there's thousands and millions of other issues.
Yeah.
You're being very specific in what you want to address, what you're trying to do, and you just stick to that. So you stick to that spot and that locality, and then if that works out, eventually you can do like wider areas and bigger areas if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think
it's kind of the way we operate.
Oh, sorry?
Yeah, that's how we operate. I said like it's
Yeah.
how it's done.
I think all my questions are covered
Yeah.
in this 1 hour. Yeah. And can I use your name in the paper if I write?
Yeah, sure. No worries, no worries. Are you going to upload this somewhere, or will I be able to access this recording?
The recording? Yeah. The recording is more than 1 hour, so it will be huge files. I'll upload it in the drive and send you the link.
Okay, sounds good, because I want to share it with my girlfriend and a few other people who might be interested to listen. So
Yeah.
I used to do podcasts as well. So I had like my own podcast and I used to interview just regular people. So I did a few episodes, but then, people are shy and they don't want to do it. And people feel like I haven't achieved anything. So why do you want to interview me?
Yeah.
Right? But my whole thing was that everyone has a story, and even though you think you're very ordinary, the moment you start expressing and sharing your ideas, then you find that you are quite special. Like there's no one different person that's exactly the same as you.
Yeah, so true. What did you study?
Yeah.
Like, did you study something like art? Oh, yeah. You did.
Sorry, what's that?
So you are a finance person, right? You did not study art or
Yeah.
But
No. But I don't know, maybe like my whole personality is different from my background. So even when I used to study, I used to struggle a lot with absorbing this very boring, repetitive, non-creative kind of information.
Yeah.
So it was a huge struggle. So that's remained with me throughout my student life. And then the moment I got done with my exams, I'm like, no, I can't, stick only to that. So fortunately, I found social work and these kind of things that allow me to be a bit creative. But I have a very artistic mind. I like to question the norms. If something is done a certain way, I like to be like, okay, why can't we do it differently? Why can't we do something else? Like, what will happen if we do something else?
Yeah. I think we need more of it.
That's the mentality I have.
Yeah, that's really nice. I think, we have covered everything. Thank you so much, Aldin. I'll upload it and send you the link. Sorry.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for organizing it. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you with your studies and your research. That this is productive. And the moment you mentioned, I was like, because I'm also quite a spontaneous person. So if I start thinking about it, Sandra's going to ask me 10 different questions and I'm going to answer in this kind of way, then what's going to happen is I'm going to be very specific and I'm going to try and stick to a script and stuff. So I work the best when my ideas are just flowing naturally, and I haven't thought about things too much and premeditated it too much. So I'm just talking from experience and from my beliefs and what my opinion is. So that's when it works the best for me, rather than coming with a plan and writing down saying, okay, I'll cover these points and this is what I'll do. And this is what I'll say. So that preparedness doesn't really help me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, this interview was very productive for me too. I was getting exact words that I thought in my mind from you without asking you to say that kind of. So thank you so much, Aldin.
Nice.
Yeah, talk
Good
to you
to hear
again.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you soon, Sandra.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take
Good luck
care.
with your studies and the rest of your travels.
Yeah,
Okay.
good luck to you too. Thank you.